Hi Eddy, thank you very much for the great talk.
Thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome. We're going to go straight into our topic today, and I would like you to define for us, what is operations management?
Operations management would involve every aspect of the business, starting from decision making to developing the marketing plan, to running the business, putting the guidelines in place, governance of the company, and much more.
That's a very wide scope.
Absolutely.
But to make things a bit more practical, to put them into practice, can you tell us more about governance? What is corporate governance? And how do we put a governance policy in place in a company?
So typically, what is governance? Governance is the rules, the principles, processes, and the tools by which the company is governed.
Okay.
So typically would involve the entire set of the, let me say, the tools that an executive should abide to and maybe first develop and then run the organization accordingly.
And let's say I'm an entrepreneur, how do I go about creating one?
First of all, definitely the entrepreneur would have the idea to start with. So decision making is the key element here to start with. So deciding where to go, what do I want to do, what do I need to develop, who are going to be my customers, and this accordingly will be part of the marketing plan. Yeah. Developing the entire guidelines and the culture of the company, it is another key area, part of the governance. So once, from an entrepreneurial perspective, once we have all these set and the rules are documented, then we start developing the processes, and then we choose what kind of systems we need to use in place.
So decision making seems to be taking a lot of space within what you're talking about. How does one make good decisions? What tools does an entrepreneur have to do that?
Decision making is a very important aspect of the business. Typically, blending both the experience that comes from a managerial perspective, understanding of the market and the products, with the domain experts' knowledge, along with the data science and the analysis that we can collect from a competition and from end users or our customers. Blending these two together to come up with decision making is critical, and this is in my opinion, the right way. Moving forward, the artificial intelligence will help us a lot from a data science perspective. Today, there are lots of tools that we can use, but more or less it's going to be on the analytical side rather than suggestion side. Although we started in the technology industry to have suggestions, but still, without the involvement of the managerial expertise, it's still, from a prediction perspective, very weak.
Earlier on, you mentioned the marketing plan as a pretty important element. And so what goes into it? How do you make one, and why is it important?
For me, marketing plan would include the entire business plan and a bit more. I'll give you an example. The mission and vision statement should be part of it, along with the branding of the company should be part of it. A very important element here is the revision of the marketing plan, so setting the guidelines, not only from a governance perspective, but also from revisiting the marketing plan, enhancing, taking decisions. Sometimes could be drastic, sometimes could be minimal, but always revisions must happen. What I would recommend also is revisiting the marketing plan on a yearly basis. This way you can analyze what did you do, how much did you deviate, make corrections, and it's not too long. So 1 year, I think it's a pretty good duration.